Welcome to the final episode of the Messy Farm. Throughout this series, we've taken you on a journey through regenerative agriculture, from the roots to the fruit, pollinators and diversity. For our last instalment, we're highlighting produce. A major goal in regenerative agriculture is to increase both the yield and the quality of food. Improved yield and quality means less land is dedicated to agriculture, so the overall ecology can benefit as well.
Messy Farmscapes offer a rich array of produce, showcasing the potential of sustainable farming. By focusing on organic practices and diverse crops, farmers can deliver healthier, more flavourful food while nurturing the environment.
So apart from our environment, rain, hail, drought, the biggest challenge for us here is being able to have a financially viable farm. And so a big part of that is trying to move away from selling direct wholesale fruit and to value add to the fruit that we grow here by doing things like dehydrating, canning, creating preserves and chutneys so that we're value adding to the products that we grow on the farm. Like many other farms in the region, the bulk of our produce ends up in the closest cities, Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Farmers markets are a great way to source local, organic or regenerative agriculture produce. One of the well-known farmers markets is Northey Street Organic Farmers Market.
The market was started about 20 years ago by a lot of farmers and also people from the farm here who wanted to create a direct line between ethical farmers and conscious consumers and give people an opportunity to interact with the people that grow their food. I think the type of people that come along to the market, they care a lot about where their food comes from, they care about who grows it and how it's grown, and so their focus is more on that and more about the quality of the produce as compared to how it might look. The farmers really care about what they're producing. A lot of the varieties they grow are really delicious, tasty varieties, and a lot of the food that they produce is small scale. It's got a lot of care and love put into it. Regenerative agriculture fits really well into permaculture. It's a massive part of what we do in permaculture, and it's really important in terms of our ethics and our philosophy on sustainability, and also that care of earth, care of people and fair share.
Our farm is located about 15 kilometres northwest of Stanthorpe, up in the granite belt. Where we are is 800 to 1,000 metres above sea level, so we can grow a lot of things there that can't be grown here in Brisbane. We have an environment that allows plants to capture a lot of sunshine and put it into sugars during the day, and then it gets cold at night. So they can't metabolise all of that, so it accumulates in the plants and they taste better. There's been a lot of work done saying that this particular chemical at this tiny rate that's left is fine, and this particular chemical at this tiny little bit that's left is fine. Nobody really knows what all of those things put together, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, what all of those things add up to. So buying organic, they're not there. Not even those tiny little bits of all these things, they're not there. It's just the same stuff that we've been digesting for millions of years.
It isn't just farmers markets where you can find regenerative agriculture produce. Fine dining restaurants such as Palette on the Gold Coast aim to seek high quality local produce.
My philosophy when it comes to this space is that we want it to be something that people of the city can be proud of. So when they have friends visiting, they can be proud to bring them here because we're talking about food that comes from here, we're talking about ingredients that come from here, and serving them in a way that is thoughtful. It is linked to the art, it is linked to storytelling, it's linked to being able to hero people that are doing great things in agriculture, in food production as a whole. That's generally the way that we approach food in this space. We try and maintain a small radius where possible with all of the products that we use in this particular space. And that in turn allows us to work really closely with people around how they produce and what they produce for us. X amount of people come and visit us every week because they know that we're trying to do that. We're trying to hero great producers. We're trying to hero people that are doing things well. And your taste buds take you to a place when things are done right. One of the great lessons that I've learned in my life is that commerce tends to inform how people do things. You throw your money behind something and it makes the person that's doing it right able to continue to do it. If we can create a microcosm of people that go out and happily source out great produce and use their commerce to be able to inform people and show people that it can be done better, and it doesn't have to be cage eggs and sow stall pigs and mass-produced chickens that can't even stand up, then why wouldn't you do that? We work in the world of food, so we want our food to be delicious, we want our food to be meaningful, we want people to walk away from their experience having had something that they may have never had before or put onto a spectrum that has a flavour profile that they've never had before, and being able to understand that there are great things out there, you just have to look for them.
Understanding the power of our food choices can transform the industry. These decisions have significant impacts on our environment and future generations.
So when we think about our farming practice, by changing over to a more sustainable farming practice and using these new approaches such as integrated pest management and using regenerative agriculture that relies on the retention of natural habitats to provide ecosystem services such as pollination or predation control, pest management, etc. We can also think about the other side of the coin where we're looking at how what we produce on that landscape may influence what the consumers require at the other end of the system. The consumer is wanting a certain product. If they're informed about what products and what choices they have, and they know where those products are coming from, they're more likely to potentially pick a product that they know is grown organically, that is grown using sustainable practices, that is grown without impacting on biodiversity. As long as they are aware about the benefits and the flow-on of those regenerative agricultural practices that improve soil condition, improve soil nutrients, nutrient availability, that all transfers into the produce. You have higher quality produce, consumers are going to be wanting that as opposed to just getting something that's produced en masse.
I think there's a real need for people to start really caring about where their food's coming from. I mean, agriculture is still the largest impact on global biodiversity by a quantum. We're still clearing too much country. There's still too much industrialisation, the use of chemicals and plastics and all the other things that go into producing not necessarily high quality, but cheap and abundant food. And people, if they are really concerned about what's going on now with climate change and biodiversity and their kids' future, it's not a lot to ask that they start thinking about and asking questions about where their food's coming from. And for sure, you know, we don't use chemicals and what have you, we use our hands and labour. You know, it costs a bit more, but not a whole lot more. But what you get in terms of the value around the future and sustainability, around biodiversity, about climate, and really healthy, nutritious food outweigh that marginal increase in cost. I know there's a cost of living crisis on, but ditching all that processed stuff and eating more veggies, you're going to save money anyway, and making sure they're good quality veggies from regenerative farmers that actually have a broader view of agriculture rather than just the bottom line. That's where agriculture has got to go. It's not a popular view in industrial agriculture because everybody's slaughtering each other in the competition to, you know, produce more at a less cost. But the role of cooperatives is going to be crucial as we sort of work together and must work together to deal with some of the risks. It was all cooperatives. There was a big fruit cooperative in town, you know, and farmers shared machinery, shared knowledge and ideas, helped each other out. You know, we're going to have to get back to that model and get away from this competition. That's the only way humanity is going to get through this, is more cooperation and less brutal competition. I like to think that Possum Lane Farm is an act of sedition and resistance to the way we grow our veggies. We're decoupling ourselves from that whole massive ecosystem that is literally eating the planet alive, because the clearing, the use of chemicals, all that stuff that people worry about, or should be worried, shows no sign of abating. You know, in spite of all the warnings about everything, the train has left the station. That's where regen ag as a movement needs to have a seat at the table politically. So, I don't know, we'll create another movement. We need to do something because I don't think we're winning the day.
What's really important to us is to be able to help people understand where their food comes from, because the choices that we make as consumers affects our environment and it affects how we live day to day. When we teach our community where our food comes from, people are able to make choices with their feet and make decisions that help save our environment. As we conclude this final episode of the Messines Farm series, our exploration of regenerative agriculture has come full circle, from understanding the essential role of pollinators and biodiversity to focusing on the fruits of this approach, improved produce.
Our journey has highlighted how regenerative practices aim to enhance both the yield and quality of food. By achieving these goals, regenerative agriculture not only provides us with better food, but also reduces the land required for farming, allowing more space for natural ecosystems to thrive. History shows that great changes often begin by overcoming obstacles. Pioneers in regenerative agriculture are proving that innovation and support can tackle these challenges. By investing in new technologies, advocating for supportive policies, and building essential infrastructures, we can make regenerative agriculture more widespread.
Viewing these challenges as growth opportunities and working together can ensure a healthier planet and a better future for all. Though the journey may be tough, the rewards are worthwhile.